Hello to anyone that has stumbled upon this. I'm back with Bastion. And as I said the last time I played, I saved all the upgrading junk
The
for when I
shard
started.
works like a charm. You can hear the monument's heart
So I
beat
didn't have to
again.
do it again. What was I gonna pick? If I go there, I just get a skill. I have other upgrades, which probably hold off on. So yeah, I'll just do Lost and Found.
We need an awful big lost and found under the circumstances.
That's a lot of stuff. Alright. Getting the gods first. Health back by blocking. And just burn my money. And back to being broke. Except I have a lot over there.
Lemaine. Udrig. They said the wild could never be tamed. If only they could see us now. We're all a little short on friends these days, so that's a welcome sight. Gotta watch your fingers around that little guy.
Okay, we got a lot here though.
A still life of old unwanted keepsakes. The service for all the men and women who serve Celandia. The slingers, the wilds were their calling. The brushers, they moved in shadows, but the calamity found them. The triggers, my brothers, bravest men I ever knew. The conscience, we haven't lost everything, long as we have that.
Alright. Wallet refilled. Probably should have saved some of that for upgrades.
He put some finishing touches on the business end of that thing. It's no longer a weapon, it's a precision instrument. At least it won't get cold around here with that thing around.
Kinda like that.
On the inside, a fire bellows ain't nothing like its more popular air-spitting cousin. Without an insulated air intake, that thing's liable to blow up on you.
Might do that one just because shield. I use it a lot.
Folks say Mender mead's good for you. It's like an herb garden in full bloom.
Okay, I do need that.
We could have a fine old cookout with that stuff. Too bad that's not the plan. We spotted a pecker carrying a shard to Mount Sand.
We're gonna do this first, though.
That's Trigger Hill, where the Army's elite became the finest marksmen in the land. Ceylondia's army only took the best, and the best of them trained on Trigger Hill. The Triggers believed they were nothing without their rifles. Nothing beats the feel of shooting a Ceylondian army carbine. Sometimes you had to take care to steady your shot. The Triggers had clearance to modify their guns however they chose. Some felt the course was too easy, so the Triggers spiced things up a bit.
I'm supposed to ignore them?
The kid ain't bad, but the Triggers were better.
Okay.
If you want to master the art of the firearm, then the place to go is Trigger Hill. Sometimes you had to shoot from the hip. You had to keep moving to avoid getting burned. Kid blows through that course like it was nothing.
Bet he's proud of us.
The Ceylondian army would have recruited him in a flash. Grady Incinerator's where we sent off all our trash to be burned or be eaten by the wilds. Welcome to Grady Incinerator, home of the hottest wings east of Ceylondia. In all seriousness, the incinerator was a dump, and it had a problem with peckers. Blasted things would swoop in and spread trash all around, until we started using fire. We couldn't just torch them all at once. We had to use restraint. Wasn't any other way to teach those peckers some respect.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, did I really not get all of it?
Who knows why we fought so hard to defend our own trash?
Out of the way.
The cinders kept the city good and warm, made it thrive.
Yeah, more damage would be nice. Alright. Get in this pot.
He wolfs down too much too fast, and it all goes to his head. I've said a lot about the kid, But he ain't the only one wrapped up in all this. What's he thinking? Well, let me see if I got this straight. I only heard it once. Once there was a normal Ura girl, but she wasn't born in the Tassel terminals like the rest of her people. She was from Celandia. Lost my train of thought there. Folks were orphaned in the war, taken in and raised inside the city, on condition they would never return to the terminals. Ura refugees who came into the city had to stay for life. It was a way to reduce the risk of city secrets leaking out. Mama passed away from birthing complications, leaving the girl trapped inside that city with no one but her father.
These bells are a pretty good weapon for these enemies here.
The father was sharper than a brusher's pike, so he got a job working for the city's mancers. His daughter barely saw him. Her father told her nothing of her Ura heritage. He told her nothing of the Mancers. It's for your own good, he said. She took to studying the arts, learn more through music than history books, gain a knack for strings and songs. First, she tried to be like other girls, but her classmates spread word that her father was an Ura trader, selling out the city.
So they were assholes.
One young man stood up for her, or so he led her to believe. He knew much of her heritage, and she grew fond of him.
That, no.
Knocks him into an uneasy sleep.
That was some bull. Getting me in the middle of the freaking dodge. Here we go.
What's he thinking? Well, let me see if I got this straight. I only heard it once. Lost my train of thought there.
How did that one shot?
Well,
Because
you
I
know how it
countered it?
goes.
Really?
Once there was a normal Ura girl, but she wasn't born in the Tazzle terminals like the rest of her people. She was from Ceylondia. Well, I digress. We've all got stories
A little
worth
upsetting.
telling. Kid ain't the only one. What's he thinking? Well, let me see if I got this straight. I only heard it once. Once there was a normal Ura girl, but she wasn't born in the Tazzle terminals like the rest of her people. She was from Ceylondia. Her folks were orphaned in the war, taken in and raised inside the city, on condition they would never return to the terminals. Lost my train of thought there. Ura refugees who came into the city had to
I
stay for
actually
life.
hit F
It was a
right
way to
before
reduce
that.
the risk of city secrets leaking out. birthing complications, leaving the girl trapped inside that city with no one but her father.
Crap.
Her father was sharper than a brusher's pike, so he got a job working for the city's mancers. His daughter barely saw him.
Okay, they're both hitting down, I think. How's it stuck on that? It is no longer stuck on that.
Her father told her nothing of her Ura heritage. He told her nothing of the Mancers. It's for your own good, he said.
That was disappointing.
She took to studying the arts, learned more through music than history books, gained a knack for strings and songs. Well, you know how it goes.
Yeah, fuck you. Again, these damn peckers.
At first, she tried to be like other girls, but her classmates spread word that her father was an Ura trader,
Trying to do this again,
selling
probably.
out the city. One young man stood up for her, or so he led her to believe. He knew much of her heritage, and she grew fond of him.
I forget if this works. Nope. Okay. Dumb hitbox. Convinced her to take him to her family den to meet her father. Spoke of how he wanted to meet a man from the terminals. Well, I digress. God damn.
Knocks him into an uneasy sleep.
Also, all the idols slowing me down whenever they hit me.
What's he thinking? Well, let me see if
I'm
I
thinking
can
machete is kind of an ass.
I only heard it once.
I should really reconsider the weapons I'm using.
Once there was a normal Ura girl, but she wasn't born in the Tassel terminals like the rest of her people. She was from Celandia. Her folks were orphaned in the war, taken in and raised inside the city, on condition they would never return to the terminals. Ura refugees who came into the city had to stay for life. It was a way to reduce the risk of city secrets leaking out.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Mama passed away from birthing complications, leaving the girl trapped inside that city with no one but her father. Father was sharper than a brusher's pike, so he got a job working for the city's mancers. His daughter barely saw him.
Sure.
Her father told her nothing of her Ura heritage. He told her nothing of the Mancers. It's for your own good, he said. She took to studying the arts, learned more through music than history books, gained a knack for strings and songs. At first, she tried to be like other girls, but her classmates spread word that her father was an Ura trader, selling out the city. One young man stood up for her, or so he led her to believe. He knew much of her heritage, and she grew fond of him. asked her to take him to her family den to meet her father. Spoke of how he wanted to meet a man from the terminals.
Bring him on. Really?
When the young man greeted her father in the Ura's native language, her father flew into a fit of rage and threw them out.
No fucking move. Where'd the music go?
The young man never told her that the Ura's native language is not to be used by foreigners. To do so is a terrible insult.
Yep.
Lost my train of thought. It was then that she decided to escape. The two of them could flee the city together and go to the Tassel terminals.
I'm about to fight two of them.
They would hide inside a garbage bin until it got ingested by a scumbag, then let him slosh on out of the city for disposal.
I hope you build a wall. One day that fall. Build that.
Well, you know how it goes.
No, I don't. What was that shit?
Her plan almost succeeded, but the authorities were already there when that scumbag sidled up to the city walls. Well, I digress.
Again, the fucking peckers.
We've all got stories worth telling.
Why am I...
Kid ain't the only
No,
one.
no. The machete is such ass. I put up with it long enough, I think.
Stick 'em and cook 'em, or the other way around. Makes no difference. Just can't get enough of that good home cooking, can he? I've said a lot about the kid, But he ain't the only one wrapped up in all this.
Of course, I still don't really have an answer to the peckers. They are still a pain in my ass.
What's he thinking? Well, let me see if I got this
I
straight.
realize what I'm saying.
I only heard it once. Once there was a normal Ura girl, but she wasn't born in the Tassel terminals like the rest of her people.
Probably
She was
just give
from
up after this
Zealandia.
one. If it doesn't work out.
Her folks were orphaned in the war, taken in and raised inside the city, on condition they would never return to the terminals. Lost my train of thought there.
Fucking shit, man.
Ura refugees who came into the city had to stay for life. It was a way to reduce the risk of city secrets leaking out. Mama passed away from birthing complications, leaving the girl trapped inside that city with no one but her father. Father was sharper than a brusher's pike, so he got a job working for the city's mancers. His daughter barely saw him.
Okay.
Well, you know how it goes.
Why? Why am I such garbage at this right now?
Her father told her nothing of her Ura heritage. He told her nothing of the mancers. It's for your own
I'm not
good,
gonna
he said.
make it like this.
She took to studying the arts, learned more through music than history books, gained a knack for strings and songs. At first, she tried to be like other
Finally?
girls, but her classmates spread word that her father was an Ura trader,
That's
selling out
still
the city.
struggle is real here.
stood up for her, or so he led her to believe. He knew much of her heritage, and she grew fond of him. To take him to a family den to meet her father. Spoke of how he wanted to meet a man from the terminals.
Just the fucking worst.
The young man greeted her father in the
face
Ura's
that
native
way, though?
language. Her father flew into a fit of rage and threw them out. The young man never told her that the Ura's native language is not to be used by foreigners. To do so is a terrible insult.
Me out of there? Can we heal?
Well, I digress.
One more go. Because I
Knocks him into an
had
uneasy
a terrible
sleep.
start on that. I should probably get another different special skill though. Because again, these things just ain't working for me.
What's he thinking? Well, let me see if I got this straight. I only heard it
I think I'm
once.
getting tired of this. I've spent an hour almost exclusively on this. And it would just be a lot easier if I took off the idol where they explode on me, because the peckers just annihilate me when that shit is
Once
on.
there was a normal Ura girl, but she wasn't born in the Tassel terminals like the rest of her people. She was from Celandia. Her folks were orphaned in the war, taken in and raised inside the city, on condition they would never return to the terminals. Ura refugees who came into the city had to stay for life. It was a way to reduce the risk of city secrets leaking out. mama passed away from birthing complications, leaving the girl trapped inside that city with no one but her father. Father was sharper than a brusher's pike, so he got a job working for the city's mancers. His daughter barely saw him.
Oh my god, this is bad. Oh shit. Oh, okay, sure, whatever.
Her father told her nothing of her Ura heritage. He told her nothing of the Mancers. It's for your own good, he said.
Rolling after using the bells is so weird.
She took to studying the arts, learned more through music than history books, gained a knack for strings and songs. First, she tried to be like other girls, but her classmates spread word that her father was an Ura trader, selling out the city.
This is, awful.
One young man stood up for her, or so he led her to believe. He knew much of her heritage, and she grew fond of him.
I think there's two little god things I'd take off for any of these wave BS things.
The young man
exploding on death
take him to a family den to meet her father.
Ignore damage.
Spoke of how he wanted to meet a man from the terminals.
Just kill me.
Well, you know how it goes. When the young man greeted her father in the Ura's native language, her father flew into a fit of rage and threw them out.
I'm gonna die on this one because I keep getting hit by the fucking easiest thing to dodge.
The young man never told her that the Ura's native language is not to be used by foreigners. To do so is a terrible insult. Well, I digress.
The same exact spot. Alright. I'm going to do it one more time. I'm too damn stubborn to give up. Now, this is some bullshit. Leaving everything on. I was hoping that this wouldn't be a pain in the ass.
Nothing
and I would
like a
just
quick
be done
nap after
today.
a hearty meal.
You know, in the usual amount of time it takes me
I've
to
said a lot
play
about the kid,
one of these sessions,
but he ain't the only
but I
one
spent
wrapped up
the
in all
entire
this.
time on this so far. I think there's still a whole other wave of enemy thing to do after this.
What's he thinking?
There's two of them, but one of them is
Let
New
me
Game
see
Plus,
if I
and I'm
got
probably
this
gonna do
straight.
that.
I only heard it once.
Trust me, but we've heard it multiple times by this point.
Once there was a normal Ura girl, but she wasn't born in the Tassel terminals like the rest of her people. She was from Ceylondia. Her folks were orphaned in the war, taken in and raised inside the city, on condition they would never return to the terminals. Ura refugees who came into the city had to stay for life. It was a way to reduce the risk of city secrets leaking out.
Sure, that's the one I was going for.
The mama passed away from birthing complications, leaving the girl trapped inside that city.
Alright, the
with
good
no
thing
one
is
but
the
her
shield
father.
special basically heals me because of how all the setup I got. Bad thing is I can't really attack during all that nonsense.
father was sharper than a brusher's pike, so he got a job working for the city's mancers. His daughter barely saw him. Father told her nothing of her Ura heritage. He told her nothing of the Mancers. It's for your own good, he said. She took to studying the arts, learned more through music than history books, gained a knack for strings and songs. First, she tried to be like other girls, but her classmates spread word that her father was an Ura trader, selling out the city.
I rolled right into it.
One young man stood up for her, or so he led her to believe. He knew much of her heritage, and she grew fond of him.
Okay, just had to make sure.
To take him to a family den to meet her father. Spoke of how he wanted to meet a man from the terminals. The young man greeted her father in the Ura's native language. Her father flew into a fit of rage and threw them out.
Yeah, that's the way I wanted to go.
The young man never told her that the Ura's native language is not to be used by foreigners. To do so is a terrible insult. Lost my train of thought there. It was then that she decided to escape. The two of them could flee the city together and go to the Tassel terminals.
I got the double. Oh, nope, never mind.
They would hide inside a garbage bin until it got ingested by a scumbag, then let him slosh on out of the city for disposal.
Build a wall. Build a wall. One day that wall is gonna fall. Gonna build on a hill. Build that city hill. Someday those tears
Motherfucker.
Their plan almost succeeded, but the authorities were already there when that scumbag sidled up to the city walls. The young man had sent the authorities a tip, told him her father was using her to sell secrets to the Tassel terminals.
That wall
She and her father were arrested for treason, but her father got a deal. Returned to work for the Mansers, and she'd go free. Gonna build that city on a hill. Before they parted ways for the last time, her father whispered a desperate plea. Hurry home to the den and lock yourself in.
Someday those tears are gonna spill.
think there's still one after this too. This thing is easy to deal with. I save right before I get hit.
She did as she was told, and deep down underground inside that den,
I think I still have a revive.
she found a journal written in her
Nope, I have a
father's
revive.
hand. Well, you know how it goes.
There we go.
The next day, the door to the den turned to ash. The
I got
girl came up
an
for
achievement
air,
with that.
and she
I
saw the
thought
calamity.
I 100%
all
this game
around
like
her.
years ago.
When the kid wakes up, his world's still in pieces, just the way he left it. The faith. Mother, this one's for you. Now that's what I call a knife. Toughest thing about using that gas can is keeping a grip on it. Nothing makes a gun so dangerous as a keen eye.
Even what I got so far. Like the things I got equipped. Alright. Am I going?
Not much left of Mount Zan nowadays. It's like a cross between a zoo and a prison break. Can't rightly call Mount Zan the mountain anymore. There's no more mountains now. There's no place left for the beasts of the wild to go. So they figure they'll hold out right here, on a slab of mountain the Calamity forgot. It's a delicate situation. Good thing for those beasts the Calamity saved leftovers.
Jesus Christ.
Those beasts been hoarding all the valuables they could find.
Sure.
We only found their little lair because they found themselves a little shard. Creatures of the wild, they've been building a bastion of their own. But they ain't yet prepared for any company. They even drag their children into this.
Yeah, that's fair.
Without a doubt, the situation stinks.
I don't even need to be doing this. Oh my god.
Best thing we can do for those beasts right now is put them down quick and clean.
Oh, I remember this thing.
There's only one kind of mercy left these days. What the city left behind, those beasts took for themselves.
I think for this it's just if I hit X amount of enemies at once.
Takes a lot of convincing, and our mortars have to do the talking. Look at it this way. It's either them or us. But if we win, they win too. Our Bastion is everybody's game, not just ours.
Sure. I mean, I guess technically that is true. We do have some of the enemies just living there.
Unfortunately, there's no explaining that to a simple beast. Those beasts been hard at work fixing up the place. They've rounded up their survivors, just like we have.
Yeah, I don't need it.
They've been searching for cores and shards, just like we have.
I hate the peckers so much.
Maybe they've thought about turning back, just like we have. We just really need their shard. Kid got it fair and square. Beasts of Mount Zan go all out. That's the way.
Alright, next.
He's done what's best for him, don't you worry.
Sure.
Don't you worry.
Whatever helps them sleep at night.
We'll all be better off once the Bastion is complete. No The monument's getting better. Zolf sure did a number on it, though. Just the occasion to crack open the distillery's private reserve. Rava Gimlet tastes different the longer you swish it around. Miraculous stuff.
Turrets. I like turrets. Alright, what's the gimmick here? 999 damage with a single shell. So that's basically hit a lot of enemies at once.
That mortar's gonna leave a lasting impression. Taught him an old trick from a galleon gunner I once knew. Suppose it's true a little song can put things in perspective. Fixed that thing right up, didn't we? Made these goings-on a little livelier. Still no mail. Go figure. A pike and a galleon mortar. Now that's some terror from the high seas. Just a couple shards left. The quarry's gotta have one, right? Boundless Bay used to be a weapons test and dry dock. Ain't never been this dry, though.
This might be a,
Celandia's armada was a glorious sight, and our ship's mortars were unstoppable. At Boundless Bay, our Navy put those mortars through a rigorous inspection. Had to use squirts to simulate explosive impact on the surface of the sea. Choosing targets with those mortars was one of the trickiest parts. You could almost see the fireworks over Boundless Bay.
Alright, first try.
Good thing we got to that mortar before the beasts of the wild learned how to use it.
Yeah, no shit.
The skippers delivered us from the motherland. Seems Zia's cooking got the best of him.
I thought I had the turret thing on. Fair enough.
The secret to how we built Celandia so tall and proud lies in Burstone Quarry.
I'm gonna get muted for a second. I need to check something. Yeah, I spent too much time on that, who knows
Imagine everything you'd need to build a city like Celandia. It takes hard work and planning, and it also takes Bastion quarry. The Ura tunnels beneath the quarry must have softened the blow from the calamity. Same goes for its natives, Rattletails. Rattletails ain't the worst of it either, but more about that in a little bit.
I'm starting to think I should have brought a different weapon.
Quarry came with a lifetime supply of windbags. Windbags smaller than the naked eye can see are nested in those rocks. Not only are these rocks a source of life, we found that the oldest ones remember things.
Oh, I didn't do anything to you.
Hard times in the quarry these days.
Didn't see that one spawn.
But there was even more to it than that. They're recording everything, all the time, taking it all in. No wonder all those beasts were drawn to the quarry. The rocks were calling them.
Seriously? It's because I took the little rocks from him.
Keeping the quarry free.
Thought it was because he just hit me and there was something else happening.
Rattletails kept tunneling in to snack on windbags. Windbags tended to the rocks, so we had to keep the Rattletails at bay. The quarry ain't exactly up to safety standards no more. Without those windbags, the quarry might not have its special qualities. Now, why would the Ura sell off such a fascinating place? The Ura always were a superstitious lot. Might be the gods told him the quarry's bad news. Rocks won't soon forget this.
Motherfucker. Wasn't even trying to
Just
counter
takes
it.
three
I just
things
was
to
trying
build
to
the
block.
greatest city in the world. It takes hard work and planning, and it also takes Bastion quarry. The Ura tunnels beneath the quarry must have softened the blow from the calamity. Same goes for its natives, rattletails. Rattletails ain't the worst of it either, but more about that in a little bit. The quarry ain't exactly up to safety standards. The quarry came with a lifetime supply of windbags. Windbags smaller than the naked eye can see are nesting in those rocks. Hard times in the quarry.
Seriously, that can fuck right off.
But there was even more to it than that. Not only are these rocks a source of life, we found that the oldest ones remember things. They're recording everything, all the time, taking it all in. No wonder all those beasts were drawn to the quarry. The rocks were calling them. Keeping the quarry free from pests turned out to be a problem. Rattletails kept tunneling in to snack on windbags. Windbags tended to the rocks, so we had to keep the rattletails at bay. Without those windbags, the quarry might not have its special qualities. Even stink eyes started taking root in here. Why would the Ura sell off such a fascinating place? The Ura always were a superstitious lot. Might be the gods told of the quarry's bad news.
Seriously.
In any case, it's fair to say the quarry was a godsend.
Funny stuff. I should just use the block tonic whenever they come up on me. Just spin on them.
rocks, all polished to a mirror sheen. The largest ones, you know as cores. Single core could keep the lights on in an entire city district. The smaller ones, we call them shards. Those rocks won't soon forget this.
Okay.
Just takes three things to build the greatest city in the world. It takes hard work and planning, and it also takes burstone quarry. The Ura tunnels beneath the quarry must have softened the blow from the calamity. Same goes for its natives, rattletails. Why would the Ura put up with those pests? Rattletails ain't the worst of it either, but more about that in a little bit.
Is it the stink eyes that freaking one-shot me because I'm
Windbags smaller
countering?
than the naked eye can see are nested in those rocks.
Absolute BS.
Not only are these rocks a source of life, we found that the oldest ones remember things. But there was even more to it than that. They're recording everything, all the time, taking it all in. No wonder all those beasts were drawn to the quarry. The rocks were calling them. Keeping the quarry free from pests turned out to be a problem. Rattletails kept tunneling in to snack on windbags. Windbags tended to the rocks, so we had to keep the rattletails at bay. Without those windbags, the quarry might not have its special qualities. Even stink eyes started taking root in here. Now, why would the Ura sell off such a fascinating place? The Ura always were a superstitious lot. Hard times in the quarry these days.
Motherfucker.
Might be the gods told him the quarry's bad news. Quarry's godsend.
Who's God? Whoopsie. Please don't.
Those rocks, all polished to a mirror sheen. The largest ones, you know as cores. A single core could keep the lights on in an entire city district.
Whoops.
The smaller ones, we call them shards.
No, I know it's fine.
The shard's got a fraction of a core's power, enough to fuel a voyage to the motherland. Well, now the quarry's all dried up. These rocks are much too young to be of use. Remember how I said rattletails ain't the worst thing in the quarry? That honor goes to a beast we took to calling Sir Lunky. Massive thing stomped many of our boys. We just couldn't get rid of him. The only thing harder than the rocks in Bastion quarry is Sir Lunky's head.
Should've known that was gonna happen. What the fuck? It's freaking chicken. I need to stop.
Those rocks won't soon forget this.
Oh!
Just takes three things to build the greatest city in the world.
This is fun.
It takes hard work and planning, and it also takes Bastion quarry. The Ura tunnels beneath the quarry must have softened the blow from the calamity. Same goes for its natives, rattletails. Why would the Ura put up with those pests? The quarry came with a lifetime supply of windbags. Wind smaller than the naked eye can see, are nesting in those rocks. But there was even more to it than that.
Whoa, okay.
Not only are these rocks a source of life, we found that the oldest
It's like I'm
one
getting punished for
remember
doing the
things.
right thing.
They're recording everything, all the time, taking it all in. No wonder all those beasts were drawn to the quarry. The rocks were calling them. Keeping the quarry free from pests turned out to be a problem. Rattletails kept tunneling in to snack on windbags. Windbags tended to the rocks, so we had to keep the rattletails at bay. Without those windbags, the quarry might not have its special qualities. Even stink eyes started taking root in here. Now, why would the Ura sell off such a fascinating place? The Ura always were a superstitious lot. Might be the gods told them the quarry's bad news. In any case, it's fair to say the quarry was a godsend. Those rocks, all polished to a mirror sheen. The largest ones, you know as cores. A single core could keep the lights on in an entire city district.
Whoops. Did I forget something?
The smaller ones, we call them shards. Shards got a fraction of the core's power, enough to fuel a voyage to the motherland.
Sure, that's the way I wanted it to go.
Well, now the quarry's all dried up. These rocks are much too young to be of use.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I passed something up. What the fresh hell? There we go.
Remember how I said rattletails ain't the worst thing in the quarry? That honor goes to a beast we took to Colin, Sir Lunky. Massive thing stomped many of our boys. We just couldn't get rid of him. The only thing harder than the rocks in Bastion quarry is Sir Lunky's head.
Look outside. For fuck's sake, can I just get through this game? What? What are these rolls?
Hard times in the quarry these days.
Uh-huh. Why didn't I just press Q? That's fine. Except it's not. I'm pissed.
We never could get stubborn old Lunky to leave the quarry alone. Then the kid hears a voice calling from down the hall. "Are you all right?" it says. It's him. I've come to warn you, he says.
Oh, the kid's thinking about what to say back. Fucking shit. Today has been rough.
The Bastion is under siege. Let it fall. You should not go back. Kid hears him, but he ain't about to be deterred. If that's the way it is, he says, then I won't stop you. Because my countrymen will. Say what you will about Zulf, but he's a man of his word. What is he? His countrymen don't much care for pleasantries, though. Too bad for that. The Ura think they got him. They're wrong. Zulf showed them the way here, and here they came to take revenge. They got inside the Bastion and shut the door. Kid's gotta go in through the back.
One moment again.
I should have told him sooner
Oh.
about all this. To make matters worse, seems the Ura took the girl. Unfortunately, they broke in, and they started digging their hole. Something wrong sprung down those holes, and it's eating away at this place. We tried to stop it, but we needed help. Thank goodness for Hardy Punch.
Yeah, no kidding. It is absolute chaos around here.
Oh, baby, man. You don't make it. After that, the Ura, they left. They done what they aimed to do. Zulf's plan worked.
Was I supposed to fail there? Because holy shit.
We find each other as the dust settles.
Terrible, terrible night.
Then I tell him why the Ura came. To get us back. For the calamity. It was Caelondia's master plan to wipe the Ura out. But part of that plan backfired, didn't it? If only Zulf knew the whole story. What were we to think? They must have got her, taken her back to her rightful home.
And the counter skill sometimes heals me. The other times it's just, hey, congratulations, go fuck yourself. Sure, try that.
Live wine so rich, they say it's brought men back from the brink for one last taste. What else is there to say? The mercy. The windbags ain't the only beast that drew a bad lot. The shards can put this disease in remission, but there's only one cure. We need to finish what we started. arsenal's complete in case we need protection. Now all we need is one last shard. When you've got a solid balance, you've got what you need. The sanctuary. If we can build, we can rebuild. Any brusher's pike can cut to the bone, but that one can cut through it. The Ura swooped down from the east. At least now we know the way. Verzendra Gate.
I'm just constantly forgetting how many
down
left.
to the terminals. Now it leads up to the stars.
I mean, shit. Plan was to finish it today, but
One last shard. It's all we need to put this mess behind us. And mother, what a mess it is.
Ooh. I need to stretch. One moment. I actually feel like the kid right now. I can't get up. Okay, that was actually a little scary. Oh.
A mess like that could have only been made by hand. Zolf said the calamity failed, and he's right. The Ura stand is living proof of that. At the heart of the calamity was a simple idea. We never wanted to go to war again. Wanted to rule it out. put a lot of folks against that problem. Scientists, soldiers, spies, even me. We sought solutions far beyond the city. We traveled near as far as the kid's going right now. Most of our efforts didn't bear fruit.
Can't read the sign.
Then there was a breakthrough, but it didn't come from one of our people.
You got something fancy.
It came from an a brilliant young scientist named Ven. Ven worked for the Mancers, the sharpest knives in the city's drawer. With his help, the Mancers devised a way to seal the Ura tunnels shut in a flash.
That just works.
Just like that, every last Ura living in the Tassel terminals will be gone.
No honor.
This discovery was never to be used, they said, except as a last resort.
I was gonna get rid of that bird for you, but no.
But Ven didn't like being manipulated. He had plans of his own.
Looks like a hand.
He sabotaged the Mancer's little science project, set it to blow up in their faces. Imagine how Ven must have felt when they finally made him pull that trigger. But remember, the Bastion can fix everything. We just need that shard. Too bad the Ura ain't exactly been willing to collaborate on that front.
I gotta be honest, I don't remember these stages at all. I remember the mortar, but that's about it. This little ice stage going on.
Kid had little choice but to pick up where the Calamity left off.
Kind of remember a fight with Zulfa, though. And that's just like a really small map.
First things first, though. There's someone we figured needed rescuing. Zia. The Ura fell back, no doubt planning the next move, but we knew ours already.
No gods.
The country, she's all to pieces now, but still looking good. We ain't much for pleasantries.
Resistance don't seem to freaking matter at all. I don't even view the spirit throws that much. Go to just ignore armor.
Ain't that the finest breaker's bow we ever seen? There's something we had to do before going after that last shard. Zoltan's Hollow is the Ura's border blockade. At least it used to be. Well, now it's personal, ain't it?
What?
It's personal for him, and it's personal for me. They never saw him coming. He gets his hands on the care package I sent him. It's a little something I've been fixing up in my spare time.
Okay.
The Ura found a way to keep the Calamity from spreading through Zoltan's Hollow.
Wait a minute.
They got their own security and everything. Pretty fancy, even. Still, they ain't used to having visitors around. They've got these conductors that are all what's keeping the place together.
I'm gonna ignore his armor, so I can just actually kill these outright. That one god token just completely useless for enemies.
Those rocks are like tumors, the same kind the Earth planted in the Bastion. Well, the Ura must be in a panic right about now. They even sick their little rattletail pets on the kid. Those rodents are just a bump in the road. By now, every Ura from here to the terminals must know he's in town. Kid returns their greeting tenfold. Most of the Ura's conductors are squared away in the middle of the hollow. The Ura keep hanging on to their barricade. After all, their homeland's not much farther. They're easy targets.
Huge mistake I just made.
Those calamity rocks must be eating that place apart from the inside. The Ura ain't pulling their punches.
Jesus. Ow. The weapons I got right now, how?
Maybe they know they've lost this. Lost to a kid.
I don't know. I went back.
Some of them are downright bewildered by what's happening.
There we go. If I'm just out of range here. I got them all.
Kids picking the whole place apart, piece by piece. It's not the time to get reckless.
Okay, this was optional. It is something to pick up as well, so cool. Told me those were new fountains to restock my cups. Which seems like it was just an early thing, and that's it.
They underestimated us. Had us pegged all wrong. Yes, our people caused the calamity, but here we are trying to fix it.
Why?
Did the Ura really think we just turn around and walk away? Shame the opportunity for civilized discourse is over. Suppose old Zolf should have got to know us better. Maybe I should have trusted him. Told him everything I knew.
Communication is important.
As the hour grows desperate, the Ura bring out their big guns. But when this is all over, it'll all be water under the bridge. There's nothing standing in his way no more. He sees the Tazzle terminals loom large on the horizon.
I think I've already died a couple times in this stage because of the fucking stink eye
Way out
spawner.
there on the edge of the world. That's where he finally finds you. But it ain't like Prosper Bluff this time. Ain't nothing for this gal to sing about now. Zia, you weren't kidnapped. No, ma'am. You just had to see what happened to the Ura. To your own people. You had to see if everything Zulf wrote to you was true. Part of the rippling walls floated by, so I caught the kid's old knapsack.
Yeah, why not?
I don't need to see what happened to the Ura. I'm trying to undo it, remember? They lost everything, didn't they? But they just keep on fighting like that's gonna bring it all back. Sure you didn't drop that twangy thing on purpose? Just to see if he'd go after you? Never could ask for a song.
3 foes with a single blast. That should be easy. Except I can also just freaking dive through it.
Long reach and plenty of power. Now that's a scary combination. First step to learning the Calamity Cannon is knowing about the machinery overrides. Once the kid gets that last shard from Zulf, it'll all be over. Mancer Observatory. Now there's a sneaky place, overlooking the Tazlo terminals themselves. The Ura probably didn't know they were being watched from Mancer Observatory. It was a perfect spot to test something no one's meant to know about. Only trouble was, something about the place drove the windbags crazy. Hefty thing like that takes getting used to. Gotta point her in the right direction.
Hold shift, hold right click.
Best stand well clear of that impact. Whatever gets in her way is in the world of her, but she ain't the fastest thing.
Well, this stinks. What was with the missing? Oh, I lose.
When the windbags caused enough trouble, the Mancers conducted their most secretive research.
I thought that was going to be just easy, but nope. I screwed it up.
Cause a lot of collateral damage with her if you ain't careful. gets, the more trouble you can cause with a single shot. She's designed to be fine-tuned. You just need the proper parts.
Oh my god.
Not much left of the observatory when the smoke clears.
Yeah. What the fuck? This feels like it becomes impossible after a bit, though.
Not a good idea to drop that thing.
Fuck's sake. Why is it aiming way the hell over there?
That was a rousing success.
Nope. Didn't mean to do that. Why am I going that way? I already got all the goods. And just return to Bastion. Please, I make sure you have the stuff. Swear to God.
If only the Mancers could have seen the kid playing around with their favorite toy. The Mancers, they knew everything, even if it cost them.
last two gods at? Oh well, whatever. What? What? Seriously, what? What the fuck? Because I wasn't paying attention and went to the exit or the restart instead of the exit. But I got everything. Okay, game. Okay. I'll do this one more time then. I actually have to at least have one survive. That's gonna be the green first. Doubt I can keep all 30 some odd bags off of this. Let me just leave, let the credit, or just let me fly off. Just let me leave without getting a prize. And that's all the game has to do. I could also just ignore it. One, so I can get out of here. Alright, that was done.
The Tazzle terminals, all that's left of the Ura civilization, and the last stop on his little journey.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I can't revisit stages, I think, so what's the point of...
I can't hear him at all anymore. He's too far away. But he'll be alright. Just needs to get that shard from Zolf and come on home. The calamity hit the Tazzle terminals hardest of all. You know why Zolf went back there. The place was his home. All his old friends and family were there. Taken by the calamity. Zolf must be there all alone, just waiting. You know what's funny? Well,
What was that?
all of us are waiting for a kid. Look around. There's not much left to do here in the Bastion, I'm afraid. So why not tell each other stories to pass the time, right? But Zia, there's another reason I've been telling you all this.
Good thing so many of
Kid
them
brings back that shard. The Bastion will be complete.
Some of them drop a healing.
What happens to Zolf? No longer matter.
We're just getting out of here. I mean, there's no point in sticking there.
Zealandia will be whole again. Everything will be back to normal. Problem is, we'll all be gone. But we're not gonna die. It's more like all of this will just stop. Things will go back to the way they used to be. This whole place is a living record of the times before the calamity. The way things were before this story. Good times, right?
Now we're playing hopscotch.
Be your old self again. Think of all those times that didn't go your way.
What a weird time to introduce another mechanic.
Follow me. Come on, keep your chin up.
I don't think I pressed F before that or anything. Before the 1 HP.
Mistakes. Anyone you've ever hurt. Everything you've ever done, you could do it over. And wouldn't that be grand? Well,
Wait, what's the point of that healing if I'm going on a skyway? Which
I guess
probably
there's
gonna
nothing more to say.
give me another checkpoint or... Oh, okay, it's because I'm just going right up here. Is this asshole going to fall or not? Also, why? Why are they recovering so much freaking health? Jesus Christ, this fucking
Who
game.
am I kidding? Look. There's something else. A confession.
Yeah. I thought this was a lot
How come
shorter.
I know so much about the Bastion? place. But that's beside the point.
Just shoot me, please.
There's one problem with a place that sets things back to a bygone time. You can't test it. So you're probably wondering if the calamity happened already. What's to stop it from happening again after the Bastion does its thing? The answer is...
He's dead.
I don't know.
We're stuck in a loop.
You're wondering if there ain't some other way out of this mess. It's alright. I can tell. But why would you even want another way? Unless you wanted to stay here with us. Well, that's sweet and all, but I don't know if I can stick around.
He's racist.
The weight of the calamity. It's on our shoulders. We can't just let it go. Bastion does have
About this part as well.
Strictly speaking.
No running though.
Heavy, ain't it?
That was not the way I was expecting it to go. There's a lot here that just seems to be for fun.
You know Zolf and his countrymen won't be giving up that shard without a fight, don't you? Zolf and the Ura. All they want now is to see the Bastion fall. Zolf dedicated his life to lasting peace between the Ura and Zealandia. He can't have imagined the city would try to wipe the Ura out. Zolf ain't lost every shred of decency, though, has he? his plans. He tried to warn the kid.
Yeah, whatever.
For Zolf, this ain't a personal matter. It ain't a simple matter of pride either.
Screw it, just spam it. And yoink.
One thing's for sure. The Ura can't be happy that the kid followed Zolf all the way home.
Well, obviously. We take him.
I can see it now. The kid in one corner, and Zolf in the other. Ain't much of a fight. Don't you worry, though. Once the Bastion's restored, it'll all be alright. You ain't still thinking about that whole leaving the city thing, are ya?
Well, at least I stopped.
I see your star, you left it burning for me.
Yeah, I thought the last thing was completely different.
I'm here.
I like that. I was like, what are you doing?
Eyes open wide. Feel your heart and
Kid's probably dealt with Zolf by now.
I'm welcome.
It reminds me of myself when I was his age. I ever tell you about those days? Hey, kid.
Get up.
Get up, kid. Come on, that ain't funny. I said get up. That's more like it. Now, set that shard into the monument there. Then we'll talk. Can't believe you brought him back again. Bet you had to do more than say please this time. First things first, kid. The Bastion's waiting. The Bastion. It's finally finished. Now, there's something I want you to see. Welcome to the heart of the Bastion. I ain't one for long goodbyes, so here's the deal. Zia and I figure you done the heavy lifting, so you get to do the honors. We can tell you how to work this thing if you got any questions. Hey, kid. You can undo the calamity here and now. Go on, kid. And before I forget, thank you.
Alright, so I definitely forgot about everything.
Always wondered what the motherland was like. Not that it matters anymore. Zolf only brought more ruin to the Ura. No wonder they didn't take kindly to him. You've got one thing left to do, so you hang on to that badge. Besides, you earned it. Don't let anything you've done get to you. You can save all those creatures here and now.
We made it.
Oh.
So, let's see. You can either prevent the calamity, or stick around with me and Rex. I'd hate to be in your shoes. If I could be any place I wanted, I'd stay right here. We could go anywhere in the world. Zolf tried to talk me into joining him. I tried to talk him out of it. I guess we both failed. When I finally found my people, I told them we could help. They just took me for a traitor. Glad you showed up. Any moment I'd want to live again happened after the calamity, not before. Ready to get this over with?
Just go with your gut. You'll do the right thing.
Yeah. We stick around, I think. I think either way is, like, new game plus after.
And here I figured you'd had enough of me by now. You could have undone the calamity itself, but instead you want to stay in a world like this. I gotta admit, kid, I ain't yet put much thought in that idea of carrying on with you here. We can't go back no more, but I suppose we could go wherever we please. And if anyone's left out there, I sure would like to see the look on their faces when we dock this thing right on their doorstep. Getting ahead of myself, though. I'm gonna need a first mate. What do you say?
I set myself fly, the wind it will take me back to my home, sweet home. Lie on my back,
Still a good game.
to make it wait for me.
And I can't really complain about it being difficult when I'm putting on all the modifiers that makes it difficult. Alright. Gonna let the credits play and then we're done. Alright. I thought I was going to finish this up faster though. I mean, nothing's stopping me from playing another game right after this, even though it's midnight. I do tend to have that habit of playing RPGs after this, at this time. Also, I'm pretty sure this on YouTube will show up before whatever I have planned. And I also don't think anyone's listening at this point in the video on YouTube from me. But, Darkest Dungeon is what I plan on next. And then I also still have Golden Sun, The Lost Age. I still need to get the code for it. And then, I don't know. Oh, well, Shovel Knight with King Knight. I don't have a fourth game planned yet. And usually I have like one video between the Shovel Knight stories for whatever reason. I haven't done anything yet. And if I keep going with games I've played before but have kind of forgotten everything, there's a chance for Dust. I remember liking that game. Nice little Metroidvania. Something I've actually... I think I beat it. Saw the achievements. Saw how long it took me to beat the game. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. And just stormed through it. But I don't remember everything this time. At this point in time, so... doubt I'd be able to just storm through that game. I might go through it. I might. Alright. Credits are over. see. No, not that. I'm just seeing where profile 1 is left at. This looks like profile 2. Huh? Did I happen to do the exact same thing on profile 1 as I did profile 2? Honestly, would not surprise me. Lost and found in the shrine are in different spots. None of these are active. I could have sworn I did New Game Plus on this game and did all. But I didn't have all the achievements, so maybe not. Huh. Oh. Dang, I guess I could have just done New Game Plus. Anyways, if anyone's watching, thanks for watching, and until next time, have a good one.